Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I'm back. So if you've spoken to me recently, you know my reaction to Blizzard adding currency for Mythic plus Azerite gear, aka Blizzard should pay me for taking my idea and kind of making it worse, because my original idea for currency was similar to Awakening Essence, only you're able to buy everything up to and including Mythic raid gear. With the increasing costs, and there was no specific piece targeting, so they kind of improved it, and it's for raiders, even though there are people that say, well, they should add something for, well, it's not for raiders, it's for Mythic plus players, but raiders are saying, well, they should add something to it for raiders, like Sanguicel. I was like, no, because we have access to Azerite gear. So, anyways, if Blizzard's going to take another one of my ideas, I really want it to be this, because I recently got into a discussion with some random person on a forum that decided to call me a hypocrite because I stated my problems with Titan Forging. For those of you who don't know, my problem with Titan Forging is simply that it rewards you for nothing, right? I have gone into, and I know people will fucking call bullshit on this, I have gone into a heroic dungeon. Guess what I got out of the heroic dungeon? Got a 365 piece. Yeah. On my mage. Which is like the worst thing to get a 365 piece on. Immediately replaced thanks to the Warfront gear. But I got that. Doing absolutely nothing to like that would give me it. And then you see all the people complaining about Raider.io. I'm like, listen, the reason why Titan Forging sucks to me is because it rewards you for nothing. It's caused things like Raider.io to come into existence because item level is not a judge of power anymore. It has made previous tiers completely unnecessary, and that's not just Titan Forging itself. That's the LFR system and the power creep that Blizzard likes to have. Like, why do we need a plus 15 item level difference in between tiers? Why? Oh yeah, that's right, because back in Blackrock Foundry, someone disenchanted tier legs, and Blizzard's like, we need to increase the power for everything so everyone feels rewarded. Or you could take out Warforging and just accept that people are going to wear lower item level gear. I did in Legion on my neck because no primary stat, so there's that. Anyways, so the new idea that I hope Blizzard takes up is a way it can be currency, it can be through crafting skill, I don't give a shit, to increase your item. Because I don't think anyone will disagree that if you go into a raid and you get a base item level item drop, it feels kind of bad because like, oh, didn't even Warforge or get a socket. Even a tertiary stat. Okay. So make it to where you can get the tertiary stats, maybe through enchanting, maybe through fucking jewel crafting. You can get the sockets. This will give a fucking use for Sanguicel for those two things. Maybe like fucking alchemy and scribes can do something to the gear. Give shoulder enchants back. That's what you can do. Shoulder enchants. Rework Azerite traits. Something like that. Right? So give us a way to do that. This can eventually break the game if you don't put a limit on it. And some people would say, well, you should put a limit on this. No, you shouldn't put a limit on this. And I'll tell you why. Because if you limit it, then that means that people will eventually just be able to find a way to do a ton of it, and like on multiple characters. And after they do it, they'll be like, oh, you know, there's no more use for it on this character. But if you don't limit it, and then it allows for such an increase in player power that a lot of things that they can't beat becomes not as much of a problem. So for example, let's say, let's just take a look at Vantis runes, for example. So Vantis runes after being nerfed back down to 3%. I don't know why 5% was okay. Oh, well, we don't want you guys to have problems re-clearing a boss. Like, if you have farm content, which you'll have, right? You won't have that much of an issue. If you couldn't clear that boss without having everybody using a Vantis rune, guess what? You weren't meant to clear it. So the first time that my guild used the Vantis rune was on Vectis. And pretty much everyone had a Vantis rune. And we got a relatively clean kill on it because of it. Next week, we also killed Vectis. Not as clean, but still clean. And anyways, slowly throughout the week, we've been getting kills. Like Heroic Fetid Devourer. Our first kill, I think like 4 or 5, maybe 6 of us had Vantis runes out of a group of 16. That's not a lot. It's not a small amount, but it's okay. We killed it. Barely. Last week, no one had Vantis runes. We were down a couple of our strongest DPS. We were down our strongest healer, and I was healing in their place, and we were down another AoE healer. So, we killed it. So, what do I mean by limiting? I know I'm jumping around a lot in this video, but I'm trying to make it as concise as possible while still providing examples. If we allow someone to socket every single piece of their gear, they should be able to do that if they can afford it. Because it's a piece of gear. It'll be replaced. Yeah, adding that extra versatility or extra mastery, okay, that will matter. But once you get a new piece of gear, you rework it. And Blizzard cannot say, well, I mean, we want people to just be able to equip gear. Well, this goes against it. Yeah, so does fucking reforging Azerite shit, bud. You just take that philosophy and toss it out the window. We don't want you to have multiple sets, but you can't respec Azerite gear for free on the fly. Can't do that. So, what this would do is, essentially, you could have like 14 slots. That's a shit ton more crit, a shit ton more haste, a shit ton more mastery. This would also allow professions to make a lot more money. It would also be extremely expensive, so you're not getting every Tom, Dick, and Harry with uber maximized gear. You'd also add tertiary stats. This could become kind of broken. So, for example, you could do like plus avoidance and just have every piece with avoidance, and that would cut down on the AoE damage of the entire group. Oh, well, that's broken. That's kind of broken, but it's also really expensive. You could add a lot of leech. Little broken, really expensive. You could add a little speed. Not as broken, but still really expensive. You could add a Warforge of +5 item levels up to the current cap of Titan Forging. It's not overpowered, it's just working RNG in your favor. That's this entire system. Yes, RNG has been in WoW. Yes, it has been in there since the beginning of the game. However, to try and compare getting a fucking 385 piece from an emissary goddamn cache to getting that one piece to drop from a boss, that's nothing, right? Because if you look at it, and let's say that Master Loot was still available, right? Master Loot was still available. You have 2 pieces dropping off that boss. That's 2 pieces out of the entire loot table of, say, 20 items. So you have a 1 in 10 chance of getting an item that you want out of it, right? That's essentially it. With fucking the RNG Titan Forge bullshit, you have a much lower chance. It's like playing the lottery as compared to playing tic-tac-toe or bingo. Seriously. Everyone who complains, go fuck yourself. But that's my idea. A currency that allows you to add sockets, to add tertiary stats, and to add Warforged to your items. So essentially, like, even if you, let's say I find like a base mythic item that's just really powerful and really cool, and I want to keep it, and I just keep Warforging it. What's the problem with that? Why can't I do that? There's no reason other than Blizzard not wanting players to have as much control as we should. That's about it.